In the corporate world, you have many opportunities for mistakes. Today, I will go through 3 big mistakes that have huge impact on your organization. My name is Peggy Van de Plassche. Thank you so much for joining the Microdose Diet. It's a podcast where we speak about all things health, mental health, wellness, corporate success, and all of the above. So today I want to talk about 3 very typical mistakes that happen in organization and that have huge impacts. So in my previous life as a corporate executive, it was very interesting to see that all of us, me included, were striving for promotions. And the goal of really getting a management position was never questioned. It was really what you were supposed to do. After all, that's why you're working out, that's why you studied. Isn't it what you should be aiming for? And, this idea of always striving for more, a better seat at the table and, more perks, I'm not saying is a bad thing, but there is one thing people don't necessarily realize in really the ever evolving landscape of modern business. The challenge that are faced now by managers have never been greater. And, whether you're talking about the rise of digitization, like the disruptions that were caused by the global pandemic, among many other factors, all of that have placed an increasingly diverse and demanding set of responsibilities on bosses' shoulder. And there were recent surveys from Gartner that are showing actually that 54%, of managers report work-induced fatigue and stress. And if it was not enough, and that's a disheartening statistics, only 50% of employees believe their managers can actually steer their teams successfully in the coming 2 years. So don't expect a lot of support from your team. They already think that you suck. So that's a bit the positioning here. And you can see that many managers are experiencing buyer's remorse after being promoted to managerial position. And nearly 2/3 of employees express a desire to be called people manager now or in the future, but actually 1 in 5, 20% current managers confess that they would rather not hold their current positions if given the choice. So definitely a lot of buyer's remorse when it comes to getting that managerial position. And maybe even more telling actually is the fact that only 19% of HR leaders believe that their organization's current selection process consistently identifies the right individuals to be promoted into managerial roles. So there is a huge disconnect between the way we see organizations filling management pipelines and the way it is really happening. And, like this concept of promoting or pushing employees into management position based on their past individual performance as individual contributors is no longer a sustainable strategy. Also keep in mind that many individuals are put in a management position, not necessarily for their past individual performance, but for their strong political abilities, which is not helping either. So, among all these difficulties, organization, and that's the second mistake, they respond by doubling down on skills development programs. So it's the usual thing. You were promoted into a management position based on your past result as an individual contributor. First mistake. You're not necessarily doing a great job at that. The company is going to offer you, not you, obviously, your boss, a skill development program. Second mistake, because it is really interesting to see that the enhancement of skills proficiency bring only 4%, 4% improvement in managerial effectiveness on average. So that's the second mistake, thinking that you can upscale someone once he or she got a management position and made them better. So this really shows, you know, the limits of more professional development as an answer to all ills, from acquiring better management skills, greater leadership abilities, but also more professional success. So there's, you know, like the big challenges you see in an organization is first the fact that you have no choice. It's a bit up or out. So that's the first mistake, is really not giving employees another route to actually thrive in an organization, which doesn't imply becoming a manager. Second mistake is actually to assume the past individual performance going to make an employee a great manager. And the third is to give a manager that is underperforming development skills programs, hoping he or she is going to get a better manager. So the challenge that are facing managers in today's world is really undeniable. And I mean, to address these challenges effectively, the companies must really begin to ensure that they have the right people in the right managerial roles. Seems obvious, rarely the case. And you really see that there is a need, a fundamental, you know, shift is really needed by organization in order to identify, but also cultivate managerial talents. That's really, I would say, the need of the hour. And the shift will not only benefit managers themselves, but also the teams they're leading and the organization they're working on. So again, this concept of only way is up. We should all want a management position. Assessing someone for a position based on his past individual contribution, and third, training managers to become better managers are really not the way to go anymore. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for following the Microdose Diet, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Bye. Have a great week.